Do you know the biggest difference between a 100K a year earner versus a $1 million a year earner? How they spend their time. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly where the top 1% of income earners spend their time. And the reality is that we all have the same 24 hours in the day. We can't create more time. We can only focus our energy and efforts into what we do. And I find that most top performers simply focus a majority of their week on IPAs, income producing activities. These are specific activities that will drive more income either now or in the future. And I like to break it down to 4 simple things. Number 1, increasing pipeline. This is simply doing the things that add opportunities to your pipeline. For instance, that's cold calling, cold emailing, social selling, running discovery calls, etc. Number 2, progressing pipeline. This is simply moving deals forward in your pipeline towards close. For instance, that's doing demos, meeting other key stakeholders, doing proof of concepts, follow means move things forward, etc. Or number 3, closing pipeline. This is simply closing deals. For instance, that's closing calls, negotiating, working with legal teams, etc. And then last but not least, number 4, increasing high leverage skills. This is increasing your skills so your value per hour increases. For instance, if you make $100,000 a year, that's about $48 an hour based on a 40-hour work week. If you increase your skills so you make $250,000 a year, now your time is worth $121 an hour. If you make $1 million a year, then it's close to $500 an hour. It's increasing high leverage skills like sales, influence, copyright, leadership, etc. This will pay you future dividends. Now, with these 4 pillars of income producing activities, it's key to now spend the majority of your week doing these things. Like, picture if 90% of your week was now focused on increasing pipeline, progressing pipeline, closing pipeline, and increasing high leverage skills. What type of insane results would you have after 90 days of execution? How about after 1 year of execution? And this is simply what top performers do. They eliminate as much as they can of non-IPAs out of the routine, and they swap it with IPAs. Now, it may seem overwhelming to do, so let me break it down step by step exactly what to do. First, you want to do a time audit. This is going through a week or two and literally writing down exactly what you're doing every 15 to 30 minutes for an entire work week. Be brutally honest and write it down. You can also do this in a simple Google Sheet or Excel doc. This will give you massive awareness to where your time is getting pulled. For instance, I recently did this for 2 full weeks for myself. And even though I feel like I'm pretty disciplined and I time block even with a timer, I found myself getting distracted from core IPAs as an entrepreneur. I was getting pulled by Slack notifications, email, the Instacart delivery guy, etc. And it may not seem like much, but those minutes add up really fast. And when you add in context switching between tasks, focus is lost, which means productive high leverage output actually goes down. Now, second, after the time audit, write out 4 categories based on how you'd organize your time and associate it with a dollar value that aligns to you in what you earn or want to earn. For instance, here are mine. First are tasks that waste time that need to be eliminated. Value, negative $200 an hour. This is stuff like aimlessly scrolling social media, watching garbage reality shows, etc. This produces no revenue. The second, low-level admin tasks that need to be eliminated, automated, or delegated. Value, $20 an hour. This is stuff like replying on Slack, approving content, polling reports, etc. This also produces no revenue. The third are mid-level tasks that need to be delegated. Value, $200 an hour. This is stuff that is important and generates income, but in order to delegate it out, it has to be to a higher skilled employee. This is stuff like coaching and leading the team, running sales calls, etc. These are some of my IPAs as a business owner. And the fourth one is zone of genius tasks. Value, $2,000 an hour. This is the stuff that generates income now and in the future at a massive scale. So for me, this requires heavy, deep work such as writing powerful copy, recording video sales letters, building out future products, attending mastermind seminars, getting coached by my coach, etc. This is basically future IPAs. And you want to have your version of these with dollar amounts that make sense to you and your role. That could be negative $200 for time wasting tasks, $20 for admin tasks, $50 for key IPAs, and $100 an hour for increasing high leverage skills. It just needs to align to you. Now, third, now go back to your time audit tracker, and for every single hour, put in there what category it would be in. Add each category up and see what percent of the week was spent in each category. You may be absolutely horrified to see where your time is getting spent when you actually track it. But this is really powerful because now you have data and you can start making changes in your routine and your focus to ensure you're executing IPAs and your highest value tasks in your week. For instance, after I did this for 2 weeks, I realized 38.1% of my week was in the 2,000 hour hour category. Solid. The goal? Move this number up. 26.8% of my week was in the $200 an hour category. I need to reduce this down and delegate this out. And the remaining 35.1% of my week was in the $20 an hour category. This completely surprised me that I was this high. This means that over 35% of the time, over a third of my week, I'm doing low-level $20 an hour tasks instead of doing $2,000 hour tasks, which means every hour I choose to do a $20 an hour task, it's actually costing me the opportunity to do a $2,000 an hour task. So if I spent 14 hours doing these $20 an hour tasks, it's actually costing me $28,000 a week. That's painful. It's like I'm stepping over a $100 bill to pick up a $1 bill. It was literally me saying yes to something stupid and saying no to something that's actually smart business. It was a slap in the face because I personally know time is greater than money. I know I can always get more money, but I can't get more time. It reminded me very much of the time when I was a salesperson and I hired a lawn care guy to come mow my lawn for $15 an hour because my time was better spent doing IPAs, and that was making $500 to $1,000 or more in commission in that same time. It's why I personally invest in masterminds and coaching programs, because they save me the trial and error of time that I know can cost me far more in opportunity cost and regret. Now, the fourth and last step of getting your week dialed and to be focused 90% plus on IPAs is to take action and to fix them. So first, eliminate the time wasters that cost you money. Whatever wastes your time, get rid of it. Next, the low-level admin tasks. See what you can eliminate, automate, and delegate. Then the mid-level and zone of genius tasks. These are your highest IPA tasks. Simply block them out on your calendar and execute. Now, I get it, nobody's perfect, we're only human, but if you can shoot towards 90% of your week in IPAs, you're gonna see insane results. But here's the other cool part. Let's just say after your time audit, you realize only 50% of your week has been income producing activities. So even if you improve up to 60 to 65%, you are still so far ahead of everyone else because you're actually improving and you can keep on improving. So that's why I was glad I did the exercise and I realized over a third of my week, I need to delegate. So literally right after I did this, I posted a job requisition for an executive assistant. And the reality is that I guarantee there are professional EAs out there who can do all the admin things that I was doing, and I know they can do it far better and more efficiently than me, which then will free up more of my time to focus on my zones of genius. I'll obviously be happier and our business results will be a side effect as a result. Now, for you, think about how you currently run your weeks. What percent of your week's income producing activities? Now, I've seen some crazy Salesforce reports from reps who have stated about 50% of their week gets wasted on admin and low-level tasks. Now, don't be fooled though. The top reps do get pulled toward that admin as well, but they realize this and just focus on ensuring as much of their week is filled with IPAs, because at the end of the day, they know their number one KPI to deliver on is results. Results lead to commissions, commissions lead to choice and financial freedom. Now, if you want to learn how to get better results on the phone and juice your pipeline, key IPA, I'll see you in the next video right here.